Welcome to week number 4 of the Toyota eSports Challenge. I'm joined with my co-caster G-Max and we're ready to bring you all the action. 60,000 Rand on the line, and of course you've been entering every week and I'm really excited. We're splitting that prize pool, 15,000 Rand on PC for the pros, 15,000 Rand to you on PC, 15,000 Rand on Xbox and 15,000 Rand on PS4. Lots of money up for grabs, but more important, bragging rights that you were one of the fastest racers in South Africa on WRC9.
Sam, it's been so cool. I mean, we are coming into our 4th round in stage 1. The last 3 weeks have been incredible. We've got to see everybody going head to head against each other. Round 4 here in the final stage, and that's of course the same stage for our viewers to go and get themselves qualified too. It's the final stage here at New Zealand. Again, I keep saying this, it seems to get tougher and tougher. I feel like this is also, again, going to be a very tough stage. It's very narrow, not much room for error, and I think we should jump into our first pro lobby.
Definitely, we're going to jump in. We've split it up a little bit. Of course, for the last 4 weeks, all of our racers have been driving to get points on the board. The top 4 between our sim racers and our Toyota Gazoo rally racing team we'll move through to stage number 2, that big final. And today, to make it a little bit more fun, we've got all the Toyota Gazoo racing drivers in the same lobby, battling it out. Then we'll be followed by all the sim racers. So this is going to be tons of fun to watch.
Yeah, good to see a good mixture of drivers going up against each other. So let's see what the Toyota Gazoo drivers have to show us.
Getting into this first race, of course, Guy, Janelle, Mandla, Michael, Henk, you know the names, you've seen them in real rally cars, and now you get to see them racing here in WRC9.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, like we touched on earlier, to see them all racing up against each other. They don't have the eSports guys to try and chase down. It's going to be cool to see them facing up against each other, and we see them lining up, and I'm excited to see what the Toyota drivers have up against each other. Do you have any favorites?
I want to see Guy, let's count it down, 2, 1. I want to see Guy do a little bit better this time, but I do think Michael and Janelle, always 2 to watch. They've had impressive runs the last 3 weeks. Munda's steadily got better as well.
Yeah, and you know, it is all about just getting that consistency out. Oh, I'm on board with Michael. He's collided with the fence. That's going to cost him some time getting back on circuit. Mandla chasing down. Looks like Henk and Janelle going head to head into the hairpin. But it is going to be a real battle to see who can come out on top. This circuit really pushes the drivers to the limit. You'll see it transitions a lot between sort of open, fast sections, and then as you get up the mountain, it becomes a lot harder.
You mentioned before that you can change the car in the game, right? So you can either do it so that the corners work a little bit better, or you can adjust it for those open spaces. What would you suggest these drivers should have done coming into this?
I mean, Michael again, every time we switch to his POV, it seems to be colliding with the wall. Guy up front now, looks like he's fighting it out with Janelle. The 2 of them are switching places between first and second. On board with Mandla over the bridge now. We need to make sure not to collide with the side. Looks like Henk's got over okay. Starting the climb up the mountain. Look how tight and narrow it is here.
This is the thing right now, you've got this side, Henk almost loses it. That's the problem when you're up on that hill, you're going to drop down there.
And he does manage to keep the car on the circuit, gets it back. Look at Michael's car though, he's very damaged. He's still got to go over the bridge here and then still go up the most tricky part of the circuit, which is the ascent up the mountain. Guy flying through the ascent section now, and it really is narrow. On the left side of that circuit, there's just a drop away. You fall down, your car's over, and you touch the right side, you've got those big rocks. So really impressive to see Guy leading away. Janelle hot on his heels trying to chase him down, collecting a little bit of those picket fences as he goes down.
This is the thing, Janelle and Guy are battling it out. They're looking really impressive. Michael did not have a good start. Those crashes are holding him right back. Munda, though, looking steady, keeping up, just sort of sniffing the exhausts of Janelle and Guy.
Yeah, he's trying to just hold on to the back end, and it really is part of the circuit. They're halfway in now. Anything can happen up front. Janelle going to go into the right-hand hairpin. Again, you've got to make sure that you don't lose out.
Did a really nice turn then. It looked really smooth. A little bit of a drift. I know how much you like that. Let's see how Guy handles it as well.
Guy is trying to just hold on. Janelle now in the lead, if you see overall. So as they've got up to the top of the mountain, again, it gets very narrow, very tricky. There's no
For a little roll on over.
Yeah, and that's going to be a time penalty as well. So it's not going well for Michael at all. Mandler still, you can see he's got Henk right in front of him. So if Henk makes any mistake, that position is his, and Henk runs a little bit wide. Has to be careful not to run too wide. See the windscreen wipers going? That's not for the rain coming down. That's just because the dust build up on the windshield. You have to clear your vision in the sim.
Very much like the real life rally race, if you like. And as well, like you mentioned, damaging the car plays against you as well. Michael's probably struggling from that because we saw that damage earlier on. That's slowing him down as well. But look at the top there. Guy and Janelle, they are fighting it the whole way through. They've been on each other.
I mean, it is really close to see. And as they come down the mountain now, it doesn't get easier. It starts to get almost leading to where you can just get your flat on the accelerator pedal, but it's still not quite a place that you can. And New Zealand is so tricky, and quite certainly back onto the brakes again. Look at how they wind around. Mandler here trying to navigate his way down the downhill section, as is Henk. Henk's actually dropped down to fourth here. A big barrel roll coming out from Henk, and Mandler will run away from this up into third place. Janelle up front, coming into the closing sector.
You can see Henk smiling there. He knows what happened. That was unfortunate, but I'm so impressed after 4 weeks how well our Toyota Gazoo Rally Racers are doing here.
So cool to see, and Janelle will cross the line. It looks like Gaia will chase down following in second place. Mandler, what a great consistent race he had. Henk there, cracked under pressure. Looks like Mandler going to cross the line here as well to take home third. Henk, will he finish here in fourth place? I think he will still see the line. A bit of damage to his car.
Damage, you can hear it even.
Yeah, he will. And unfortunately for Michael, Sam,
it's not going to happen. Look at that car. He just had such a bad start, and it's like real racing. Sometimes it's just not your day. I don't think it was Michael's day, but Janelle, you saw how happy he was there as well. These guys have really improved. I think racing against the sim racers every once in a while has definitely upped their game, and you can see it.
Well, yeah, I think it definitely helped them out a little bit, and what a fantastic race coming out from the Toyota drivers. Allows us to then jump into the pro drivers.
Jumping into our second lobby now with our sim racers. They race online regularly. Last week, Jason able to get that super fast time, which means the fight at the top now between Charles, Jason, and Alaric. That's what we need to be looking at this final week. Who is going to finish at that first spot? Yeah,
this is a lobby that I've been waiting for sure, and it's going to be interesting. Seeing all the eSports boys in there. I mean, I've said it week in, week out. This is my scene, the eSports side of things. Alaric, Bruno, Jason, and Charles take to the lobby. Oh, this is going to be a goodie.
This is going to be really serious now. They're all together. We count them down. 3, 2, 1. Quick fast. That is the best way to describe what is about to happen. Watch these guys. They want to fight it out.
And there can be no margin for error from anyone here. So the opening stages, I'm expecting to see some nice clean racing from our drivers. It's relatively easy before you come into the hairpin. You see them all nice and bunched up together, all four of them. And this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see that tight up racing. Alaric leads things away, but it's Charles that's edging at his heels, it seems, at this point in time. Jason also up there. Bruno just lagging a little bit behind the pack at the moment, but still holding on. He's within a second of the pack in front of him.
Look at those times. You could just see those names jumping around in the left-hand corner of your screen, because this is how close they are. They're a tight pack. They've raced this track. They know the lines they want to do. They're all going to be focusing on that. They know exactly how to get this right, and you can see there the battle, but Charles slowly pulling ahead.
I mean, it's exactly that. Charles just brings out this level of consistency. Such an amazing driver to watch, a cool driver to interact with as well. Jason has been putting so much time and effort in. I know from my side that he loves to chase those leaderboard times, and himself and Charles and Alaric and Bruno are all getting themselves up into the practice sessions, and it's good to see Charles here is leading now on Jason. Jason in second place. Alaric settles down. He's just half a second behind the likes of Jason, who we're following on board with.
You can just see the experience though coming through Charles there as he's coming up the mountain. So close, his line to the edge there, but doesn't lose control of the car. It's amazing to watch them. They know the lines that they want to do. These guys are some of the fastest in the world now in WRC9 when they've been practicing.
I mean, coming up this mountain section, you just see WRC cars flying, and that margin for error, I talked about it, the left side drops away. Now suddenly it closes back up. You've got a little bit of open breathing room, and then on the right side it drops away again. So this mountain section, no room for error. You see how close Charles comes to the exit there. Coming into that hairpin, we saw Toyota Gazoo drivers doing quite well through here. And different lines being taken by everyone. Looks like Charles still leads away. He's a second up the road here from Jason. Jason still looking focused and looking like he wants to chase the likes of Charles down. And Alaric stuck in third there, chasing down Jason, with Bruno still in fourth place, but he's dropped down the field considerably compared to the top three.
I think it's a good play from Bruno though, because you know that the pressure is on Charles and Jason. There's a like you said, not a lot of room for error, so that pressure could make one of them crack. I say that though, I think Jason is running on the adrenaline from his victory last week. He's looking so focused. You can see his face right now. Him and Charles are not putting a foot wrong. Different lines maybe, but just so close, speeding along, and they've clearly, they knew what they wanted to do, and they are fighting now for that number one spot.
I love the fact that sort of at the top of the mountain, it looks like Charles does have some sort of difference in his gearing. He's pulled an extra second onto the likes of Jason coming through there, and he really is flying. Fifth gear coming down the mountain now. He's going to start to enter into that final sector, and Charles really looking good here to get himself a win. It would be all up to him to make that mistake and throw it away. Jason is hot on his heels, but he's got Alaric a couple seconds down the road from him. So at this point in time, everybody's sort of stacked up in a good position to finish, but with the final sector still to go, could be anyone's game.
As they rush to the finish, it's like you mentioned, you get to tweak your car in the game to suit your driving style. Charles has done that. It's working in his favor. He has got the opportunity here to take that victory. Even though those guys are close, you know that Charles doesn't make a mistake often. Will this be Jason's opportunity? How does he close that gap? Can he close that gap?
I mean, he really just has to find a lot in the final parts, which isn't really an easy ask. It looks like Charles Wilkin here going to lead the charge up to the line, will finish in first place. Jason just behind him will cross in second place. Alaric Enslin, a third place for him, and Bruno still coming up the hill, will finish within that timer. So again, he's just racing for that position against the other drivers, but a solid drive coming out from everyone, and a great win for Charles.
Nice.
Interesting. We'll get to see what this leaderboard looks like at the end of today, and who makes it through. But not one of these guys, not one of them made a mistake. Flawless from all of them. That was a masterclass on sim racing.
It was a good thing to watch, and to be honest, the Toyota drivers lobby was equally good to watch. Good driving coming out from everyone. It's just up to the influencers to bring us some good driving next.
It's our favorite time of the day because our influencers, these famous faces, you know, their final race this week in stage number 1. Will Brent the Good Things guy finish? Will Ryan Kankowski be able to get back to that number 1 spot?
Mojak might say no again.
Well, okay, Wasabi surprises. He's been playing middle of the pack with Pippa. This is it. We get to see, look at those. Simon's giggling. Brent's doing some yoga breathing exercises. Everyone else looks very focused. 2, 1, let's go. Let's see how this goes. Have they been practicing? Mojak has a little bit of a stall there at the start.
He might be having, it looks like he's got away there. Maybe didn't start the car. We're not 100% sure, but looks like Ryan
crashing right at the start. Has the pressure got to him?
Not where you want to be going at this point in time. Simon going to be doing the Simon things of being consistent up the front. Very deep into the hairpin goes Mojak.
Look at Brent! Look at Brent! He's not right at the bottom. Wasabi obviously didn't have a great start. Brent is racing it out there. Come on, Brent, this is what we want to see.
I mean, Brent doesn't have to know that there was a bit of a failed start from Wasabi, right? It gave him a head start to catch up. So Simon's had a little spin around. That's going to cost him 4th place. Pippa promoted up to 3rd now, chasing down at the likes of Ryan, who of course had a little incident at the start of the race, but it is Mojak who is leading the pack at this stage, and Mojak, the dark horse who's come through, put in the time and efforts, and I think Ryan thought he was going to have a bit of an easy stage out with the influencers. And
well, this is the thing, right? Ryan Kankowski, Springbok rugby player, avid gamer. Mojak is an actor, comedian, MC, sim racer now as well. That's really where the battle is. The two of them are fighting for that number 1 spot when we take all the points over the last 4 weeks. They've had consistent rides. I say that Simon just taking a little stroll up the hill. Pippa as well. They're trying to avoid the drop. That's the problem. You can see they're trying to avoid the drop, but it means that they kind of go into that corner and hit the rocks.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things you have to stay literally in the middle of the course, otherwise left and right very dangerous. And of course you're still trying to push those times, and a little clip there from Simon. Is he going to go down the hill? Does he say
down
that
the hill.
over for Simon? So he's going to roll down. That's going to change up his position. This might give Brent a chance to get himself up a position too. Ryan still looking focused at this point in second place. He cannot catch up to Mojack because Mojack's had a pretty flawless run so far. More walls for Pippa.
She's struggling. She's struggling now. This is the thing when you go up the hill. Oh, Simon, another one.
Bad to worse, and down the hill, more time penalties there for Simon. He might find himself being caught up by OK Wasabi, who didn't get to start off the line. But I love the fact that Simon still laughing away. His car is undamaged in all of this. So somehow it's made of iron.
Maybe Kankowski flying ahead there, looking really impressive. It's tough. Going up that hill, I find here in New Zealand, when that road narrows, it is tough when you're driving, especially if you're an amateur driver.
Yeah, it's very unrewarding, especially if you do make small mistakes. It then gives you a little bit of freedom, like where we see Mojack driving through now. Ryan still also trying to chase down, but that's not going to go well for him. And this might just not allow him to keep that front spot that he keeps on getting so comfortable with. I love the fact that Mojack is sticking it out here to Ryan. But also doing a good job. Still in third place, that's good points there. And Brent in fourth now. So Wasabi into fifth. Simon has dropped down. All those falls down the mountain have also dropped him down the positions too.
I'm not being a biased caster when I cheer for Brent, but it is important, as I said, that he's not having something's happening.
That was Ryan.
Oh, Ryan was the one. I thought that was Brent. There we go. Ryan hasn't had a good run, but I was saying I'm cheering for Brent because he hasn't actually finished a race yet. So I'd love to be able to see him finish.
The underdog.
The underdog. The fight here, though, is still Ryan and Mojack. Look how close you see that ghost car. They are so close, and they both so competitive. OK Wasabi's not going to be happy in fifth. Simon's probably... He keeps recovering really well from sliding down the hill.
Don't want to call out your commentator's curse, but you've put Brent down in sixth place again.
Oh well.
he was up there.
It's okay, Brent.
His car is undamaged, so he still has...
No, Brent! Okay.
We talked about commentators' curses.
Might have been my fault.
No.
Let's go back to that battle. Look how far our two leaders are ahead of the pack. You can see in the line on the left, they're flying. These guys have just got faster and faster every week.
Yeah, so I mean, it still looks like Ryan picks up those penalties once again into this week, and that's going to put him down into second place, even though he leads away on the visuals. You see his blue car going to the end, but if you've got those time penalties, it doesn't matter. Mojack seems to have a much cleaner run. But here, still looking good for third place. Any more mistakes from Ryan, and she might find herself in there, although it's a slightly bigger gap coming out. Big slides coming out from Ryan. Like you said, I like the slides, I like the drifts, and Ryan appealing to that side of me, but you just see how close Mojack is to Ryan here. So even with that time penalty, I think Ryan going to cross the line in first, but Mojack going to take the victory as we look back at Simon, who... It's more walls.
I mean, I was impressed with Simon. I thought he had recovered quite well after his earlier crashes. The smiling stopped looking very serious. So I think he can be happy with that fourth, considering how many times he went down the side. Pippa seemed to have struggled a little bit on this track. The turns maybe not really working in her favor, but it still looks like she'll have a consistent third, which she'll be happy with. And we'll have to see how that goes. Brent, I mean, I'm proud of him. Half the race he did a good job. Well done.
Half the race a good job. Mojack doing a little dance.
Wasabi got all the way to third. There we go. Look at that. Obviously, just
I was in fifth place there for a really long time.
How are they? So there was a couple of DNFs there.
GG's. GG's, guys.
Mojack, I really have to applaud you and Ryan, guys, because the whole way. And if anyone was going to make it into the next round, it would have been one of you two, not me.
There you go. Yeah, we had to keep quiet to listen to him. Brent celebrating because at one point he was in fifth place. He was happy with that. We're happy for you too, Brent. Both Kankowski and Mojack, I mean, they were happy. Wasabi jumping up to third there as well. But definitely, the influencer battle is between unhappy Kankowski and Mojack.
Yeah, it most certainly is. And I think Mojack just coming out and just showing that consistency is king, not getting those penalties, not getting those reset penalties. They crossed the line relatively head to tail, but those time penalties, another victory goes his way.
So we didn't see the finishes, but we have to say our influencers have got better every single week. We do though need to get into the serious conversation now. Our sim racers and our Toyota Gazoo Rally Racers, the top 4 amongst those are going to make it through to stage 2 to compete for that prize pool. And if we take a look now at that leaderboard, you can see all our pro sim racers, the top 4. Kind of expected that because our Toyota Gazoo guys, they were busy. They were doing real rally racing in between. But you got to be happy because all your boys there representing the sim racing community.
I mean, that's what I would like to see. I think it was a great showing from the Toyota drivers to come out and enter into our playground, so to speak. Did a good job to keep the drivers on their toes, and good to see all the sim boys up there. They'll be certainly happy to now fight it out for that number 1 spot.
You can see now Charles sitting at the top as we move into stage 2, but Jason with that victory last week in the 2nd place this week, he's pushed himself into 2nd place. He's going to be really excited. None of these points matter, of course. When we move into stage 2, it's all to play for. They're going to be battling it out, and you will be battling it out as well. We'll get to commentate. So next time we're here, it'll be the finals, and we'll be handing out cash money, we'll be cheering, and everyone will be going quick fast.
Yeah, this is where we need everybody to just get behind that hashtag Toyota eSports Challenge hashtag on Facebook and all the Instagrams, everywhere that you got social media. This is going to be a hype final. So cool to see. If you haven't submitted your leaderboard times, you need to make sure that you're in there. You need to get in this. You need to win this.
He's 100% right. G-Max has got it. Spam your social media. Share the past broadcasts out there. Let's get everyone ready for an epic Toyota eSports Challenge final. We're going to go because we need to start prepping. We're excited and can't wait.